Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, and well, every now and then I run into a reel I have no idea about, and that happened to me recently. I just was walking the town garage sales and found one. It's a Yomashi fishing reel in a box. I believe it's new and unused, but it is interesting. There's no documentation or paperwork in here, so it leads you to say, what is the company? Yomashi Fishing. An internet search says that it's been around since 2017, but it didn't give you much information beyond that. And what I do know is I have a 2000 size reel that was made in China. It's actually a pretty nice looking reel. I was impressed by the wooden handle knob, and initially I was thinking, well, maybe this is an older reel. Maybe this was rosewood, which has been banned since 2017, but the company was founded in that year from what I understand, so it's not that. This is a 2000 size reel that's perfect for pond or stream, and that's one of the reasons why I bought it. The other was just plain curiosity as to who made it and what it is, but I kind of like the reel. And we're going to go inside and we're going to take a look at this reel, and we're going to see how it's made, and well, if my investment for a few dollars was worth it. Of course it was. Brand new reel for a few dollars that looks nice, feels good. Sure, I don't discourage anybody from buying these brands that you don't necessarily understand, but I do know that, well, a review like this and an inside look can help tremendously in terms of the decisions that you make. This is another one, and it's an indication it's a later reel. It says it's got 12 ball bearings in there. My guess is we're not going to be able to find 12. It just seems to be the way that they count. But we'll see what we can do here on that, and we'll see what we can learn. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is encourage you to subscribe to my channel. If you like the idea of fishing reel service, if you like to learn how to do it, if you like to understand how fishing reels are made, and more importantly, how to fix them when they break, get an understanding about the industry, about when reels were made, how they were made, and how they are used, then I want to encourage you to subscribe. So we just took the spool off. We did that by removing the top tensioner adjuster. This reel, as you can tell, is new. It's never been used. You have a stack of small drag washers in there. And we removed the click ratchet and the spool shim adjuster. And when I take the pieces off, I put them into a parts tray. The parts tray is a plastic bottom from a fast food container. And we're going to continue. We're going to remove the handle now. I'm a little bit curious on this one. There's a couple of things that actually say quality, and that handle knob is one of them. It's a collapsible knob, collapsible handle. Push that in, and that enables you to fold the handle for storage, like that. And also a little wood knob with the bar. Now, I don't see an oil port here, so I don't know if there's a bearing in there. But again, the 12, that's the old I'll believe it when I see it thing about the 12 bearings. Interestingly enough, this one does not have the schematic, so, well, you just can't, you don't know what you're going to get. All right, we're going to use this multi-wrench here. All right, now I just noticed when I went to tighten, or went to remove the nut in the traditional counterclockwise manner, it tightened it up. So we're going to remove that by turning it in the opposite direction. It's called a reverse thread. And just be aware that some of the reels have that because of the way that the reel turns. If you put the traditional thread on there and did not lock it down, it could spin free and loosen the rotor. We've taken the rotor nut off. We're going to remove the top end now. And we can see that, well, this is a traditional old style anti-reverse dog. This has the ridges or the valleys or the teeth, call it what you will, on the inner part of the rotor. And it has a rotor here that has a dog, and all of these parts are plastic, so that always kind of scares me a little bit. It has a plastic dog, and it has an eccentric spring on this yoke here, collar, that's going to pull that in and out. All right, so that's always a good thing to note when you see these kinds of things, to pay attention to it, because, well, if you're not paying attention to it and you think you got metal in there and you're a little bit hard with the reels, it could break. Why does that matter? You lock down the anti-reverse on this, and you're under stress, and you use this to kind of yank, it could break that plastic. It's a stress point. All right, this one's going to be a little bit interesting to me because I see 3 screws up top. I don't see a screw on the bottom, and I don't know what's holding that bump guard in. Right here, this bump guard. So there's usually a screw here. That screw's not present, so I don't know how this case is going to come off. We will find out. Usually there should be a screw on the bottom end of that. And it is quite possible, though not probable, that this runs all the way up here to that screw, but that doesn't seem right either. And of course I didn't check the other side. The other side might have a screw in it. I don't know. I'm taking the screws out to check to make sure that they're all the same size. These are. For some reason my screwdrivers become magnetized. Alright, can we get it off? So I still don't know what's causing this or how this bump guard comes off. I'm going to use a little wedge here, see if it just pulls out. It is possible that we have 2 wings. And then it just snaps in place. You got to be real careful with these bump guards. If you're not, you can shatter it. If you shatter it, you're just done. There's no replacement parts for these kinds of things. There you go. That's exactly what it is. There is just 2 little clips that snap. There you go. Oh well. Go figure. And there's that screw. Okay. So that just pulls off. There you go. 4th screw we want to check. The 4th screw is smaller. So we're going to set that off to the side here. We'll take a look on the inside of this reel now that we can remove it. Have a bushing, not a bearing. That's interesting. Where did they put the 12 bearings if they have a bushing in the side plate? I don't know. Let's bring this down. So this is one of the things you need to pay very close attention to when you're ordering what I call Amazon reels. Don't believe what they say. And that seems to hold true with bearings. It seems like, well, they just can't count. And I'm just being perfectly straightforward and frank. This is a basic design for the reel. We have our pinion gear. We have our crosswind block and our oscillation gear. We have a main gear that drives the back of it. We have a bushing on this side. So as far as I can tell, we have a single ball bearing in this reel, advertised as 10 ball bearings. Well, word of caution. All right, well, I think we learned what we can learn from this reel. Not much to do. Is it a bad reel? No. This is a pond reel. This is a 2000 size reel. Is it the Penn Battle 2000? Absolutely not. Is it a Shimano 2000? Nope. Is it even a Daiwa 2000? Not at all. But can it go fishing? It can. And can it do well fishing? Sure. But don't set your expectations for a smooth operator based on 12 ball bearings or whatever they advertise this thing as. It's just not going to happen. Tuition reels, well, I just call them that because I've paid money. I don't expect anything back in return for it other than an education. And we've got an education on this one. So if you see this advertised anywhere, stay away from it. Don't stay away from it because it's a bad reel. It should work fine. This is a reel that probably is based on a technology of 15 or 20 years ago. I'm sure it will work fine. But if you think you're buying a modern reel, with an instant anti-reverse with 12 ball bearings in it, and well, whatever else you might think you are getting. Just the buyer beware. It's not what you think it is. And unfortunately, a lot of the reels that are sold on Amazon kind of fit that MO, right? They just figure nobody's ever going to open up a reel on the inside. We'll just call it whatever it is. In this case, we'll call it 12 ball bearings just because it makes fun. Nice dozen, even dozen number. And, well, see who we can get to buy the reel. This reel is probably a $15 or $20 reel. And again, plastic, plastic, plastic. I think we've learned about this reel. Okay. Well, if you have any questions on this or any reel, just leave those in the comments section. I do try to answer those. Generally, I'll try to answer those in the morning of the day following the video that you're watching. So if you leave that comment, expect an answer the following morning. Steel screws here, another indication of the quality of the reel. So this is an inexpensive reel. Okay, let's put that back together. Put our click ratchet, or put our rotor back on. Again, nothing wrong with the technology, nothing wrong with the design. Always disappointed when it's not what it says it should be. But overall, it can go fishing, it will go fishing. I'll find somebody out on the dock maybe can use this. See what we can do to get this into a hand of a kid looking to catch some bluegill or crappie or the like. I'm struggling with the nut because I've forgotten that it is a reverse thread nut. That goes on like you would traditionally take the nut off. This is an interesting little multi-tool that I found in a box of reels that I purchased, and didn't go out and buy that by itself. Some folks were asking me, where do you buy it? I don't know, because I bought it in a box. All right, spin it, make sure that it spins. Doesn't spin like it's got 12 ball bearings in it, that's for sure. Click ratchet. Spool shim. Let's put the bump guard back on. Snap it in. Handle. Guess we can take a look at the top end as well. See how many drag washers or what kind of drag washers we got. The way that this is running right now, we probably have felt or Teflon drag washers in there. That would make sense though. I'm not going to fault a reel for using that technology up top because, well, it's a small reel for ponds. You don't need a lot of drag. Let's take that look while we're here. This is the retention spring. And we have felt washers. We only have 2 of them. So this is a 4 drag set which says low max drag. And those felt washers are dead dry. Felt washers should be oiled. We'll take care of that right now. Not sure why they didn't oil them. Probably because it would leak out at some point in the hot warehouses. And again, most people that are going to fish this for small game, maybe 1 or 2 pound fish, not going to be a problem. You've got to install the spring, find the groove, bring that groove over, snap it into place. We'll bring this over the top, put our button back on, and we'll just kind of turn it to make sure it's turning the way it should. And you know what? It runs fine. It runs fine for a pond reel with a collapsible handle. There you go. All right. Well, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something. And if we learned anything, I guess it was don't go out and don't rush out to buy this one. If you do, be prepared to feel badly about not having the 12 ball bearings as advertised. Right there. 12 ball bearings. And we found one. Okay, that's all I've got to report on that one. I hope you've enjoyed it. Before I leave, I want to thank our first responders, our police, fire, safety, rescue, everybody involved in keeping us out of harm's way. I want to thank you, the viewer, for watching, and I wish everybody a great day. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle.